Hello guys and gals, and welcome. So today we're going to be talking about another rune word, and that rune word is the rune word Destruction. Destruction is a very interesting rune word, and we're going to first go over to the website, and we're going to take a look at it there. Because I really want you to get an idea of what the variables are on this particular weapon, and I'm joined with today with Mr. Nimoy. He's going to sit with me. He's been sitting with me for a while today, and first he was taking a nap, and then he decided he didn't want to take a nap. He's been taking a nap in my shirt. I button him up and get him nice and comfy in there. There you go. You're nice and comfy in there. Now go sleep. So let's take a look on the website at the rune word Destruction. He squeezes his way out. He's such a cutie, though. So the rune word Destruction is a little bit expensive with the runes VexLoBerJahKo, and it's definitely not going to be a budget rune word, that's for sure. So if you are looking at this particular rune word, keep in mind that it is not a budget rune word. Not. Definitely 100% not. And it is capable of being made in both polearms and swords, so keep that in mind in case you would like to use this on something other than a polearm for your mercenary. And let's go forward and we'll take a look at the stats on this. So we have here a 23% chance to cast level 12 Volcano on striking. And if we take a look at Volcano, you will see that Volcano at level 12 is approximately 38 to 40 damage, with a fire damage of 42 to 44. So it's a combination of fire and physical damage. And what I have noticed about Volcano is that if it spawns directly underneath the tuchus, the butt cheek of the monster, it actually does a pretty significant amount of damage. But if it doesn't spawn directly underneath the butt cheek of the monster, it gets spread out too much, and it is very inconsequential damage, and it doesn't really do very much at all. So if you're if you're getting in there and you're fighting a target and you're spawning these volcanoes right underneath of the monsters, I can definitely see it being very interesting, especially if you were a fire druid. I can definitely see that as a fire druid, it would be useful. You could even synergize it, and you could increase the damage. And so every time you're hitting, you would be, creating more and more volcanoes. I could definitely see this as extremely useful on a Fire Claws druid, because if you're building all of the synergies for Fire Claws, you're also going to be building all the synergies for Volcano and Molten Boulder. So keep that in mind. Now let's take a look at Molten Boulder, and let's see how much that one is doing. All right, Molten Boulder at level 23 is, well, we can't even look at level 23, can we? We can only look at level 20. And at level 20, we are looking at 120 to 144 damage with 129 to 155 fire damage. So it's very interesting, and Molten Boulder is a very interesting skill because Molten Boulder does a knockback, it does a fire attack, it does a burn damage. There's a whole bunch going on with Molten Boulder besides just simply the initial impact. So you get some physical damage, you get some fire damage, you get some burn damage. There's a whole lot going on there, and I can definitely imagine that if you had quite a few of these going off from the effect of the Molten Boulder on the sword, we would be looking at some pretty serious damage between the Volcano and the Molten Boulder constantly going off, and especially if you were synergizing them together, that these two effects could work really, really well in tandem, and especially on a druid who actually has fire skills. So keep that in mind. We also have 100% chance to cast level 45 Meteor when you die, which is not going to be used very much. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that go around dying on purpose just so they can, ow, why you bite? He just bit my beard. it's just right on the beard. And not a lot of people go around dying to trigger 4 level 45 meteors, and it's not going to do an amazing amount of damage, just one meteor. We also have a 15% chance to cast level 22 Nova on attack, which is going to be a nice AoE lightning damage. And if we take a look at Nova, Level 20 Nova is all we're going to look at here. Level 20 Nova is 131 to 188 damage. So not a huge amount of damage there. It's a little bit higher than that, obviously, so probably around like 200 Nova damage every time it goes off. So as you can see here, we've got a lot. And I mean just a huge array of effects going off. And these effects are just constantly spamming. So we've got the Nova attack spamming, we've got the Molten Boulder spamming, we've got the Volcano spamming. So tons and tons of fire damage and also lightning damage. And all of these are sort of an AoE attack, so they're going to be hitting more than one monster at a time. So keep that in mind. We also have a very nice 350% enhanced damage there, which is very, very beautiful. And we also have ITD, which is also very nice. Especially if you were an elemental fire druid, you might not have any attack rating. So this could come in handy on an elemental fire druid, just simply so you can run around spamming your volcanoes and your molten boulders all over the place. We also have an additional 100 to 180 magic damage, which is very, very nice to have on top of all of the fire and lightning damage, which is going off. 7% mana steal, which again is very nice, because considering that this seems like it's almost geared toward an elemental druid or a fire claw druid, it would be nice to have some mana steal. 20% chance of crushing blow, which is very, very nice, because that removes 25% of the monster's current HP, not their maximum HP, so whatever they currently are at. It has 20% Deadly Strike, which is a chance of double damage. Prevent Monster Heal, which is going to prevent the monsters from regenerating at all. And plus 10 to Dexterity, which is going to come in handy for some block chance. All in all, this weapon is pretty amazing, and it doesn't have any variations. So let's go over to the actual game, and let's take a look at the two different versions of the item. So one of them is going to be a sword, which is probably best made in a phase blade. We also have another one, which is made... He just stole my microphone. Don't steal my microphone. Another one is best made in a cryptic axe, and cryptic axes are ethereal for the mercenary. So what we're looking at here is a pretty amazing bonus of two different items. So this one would probably be what you would use on a druid, and this one is probably what you would use on a mercenary, specifically because what you're looking for is a very nice mercenary weapon. And as you can imagine, if you had this on a mercenary, there would just be tons of effects proccing all over the place all the time. So the next thing for us to do is to take these over on a character, use them, and see how well they work. So I'm going to go over to, I think, my paladin maybe, and let's test them out and see how he does with them. So Runeword Tester. And obviously, I'm not going to be able to use the ethereal poleaxe or cryptic axe, but I will be able to use the sword. So let's go ahead and take this sword out, and we'll start whacking some things. Because why not?
I will cleanse this wilderness.
So right off the bat, there we've got the volcano. We've got the Nova popping out, so we're doing really good as far as procs. And you're going to see these procs a lot. They're going to proc a lot with a 23% chance for the Volcano and a 15% chance for the Nova. You're going to see those all the time. The 5% chance on the Molten Boulder is going to be a little more rare. And let's see if we can get that Molten Boulder proc. The Nova procs a lot. I'm seeing that. Definitely noticing that the Nova procs a lot. And as I say that, it stops proccing. Oh, there we go. There's a Nova. Seems like this would best be used with a very fast attacking skill, just in general, because fast attacking skills are definitely something that will take advantage of the procs more than a very slow attack. I can imagine Zeal being an optimal choice. Perhaps this on a Zeal Paladin. Just for the hilarity of having volcanoes and everything spawn all over the place. It's very, very interesting indeed. Still have yet to see the Molten Boulder yet, though. At only a 5% chance, I imagine it's probably one that we're not going to see as often as the others. But the Volcano is certainly proccing a ton. And I mean a butt ton. It's like I got a little alien in my shirt. He goes in there, he just wiggles his way around.
Evil dwells within this cave.
Stealing my microphone. He's a thief. Will you get in there and stay in there? Why are you going in, coming out, going in, coming out? Of course, once the Nova goes off at this level, everything dies, because that Nova is more than enough damage to kill everything at this level. I don't know. It seems like the Molten Boulder is probably not going to go off anywhere near as often as the other two effects. It definitely seems to me like the Molten Boulder is with only a 5% chance is not proccing very often. Unless you are absolutely spamming your abilities, you're probably not going to see the Molten Boulder that much at all. I mean, because I've already killed probably a good maybe like 50, 60 monsters and have not seen one Molten Boulder come out. And it is on striking. So I'm not really sure. Thank you, beautiful lady. A lemonade for me. Alright, I really want to try and get at least one Molten Boulder in here. I'm trying my dangdest. And unfortunately, it is just not coming out. Everything else wants to come out. The volcanoes want to come out. I feel like we need some training dummies for this very purpose. Just things that we can beat on for no reason. Just like, oh look, there's a monster. Let me just wail on him. And he's like, I'm infinite health. Will you get in there and stop? Stop it. Hey, he runs back and forth so much. Little hyper little monster. Little monster. And then he goes in and comes right back out. I don't even understand. Well, as you can see, getting the Molten Boulder to proc is a little bit difficult. The Volcano and the Nova are going to go all the time, and then the Molten Boulder is going to be a little less reliable. But all in all, this is a very solid weapon, especially for a elemental druid. Especially if you were Fire Claws, I could definitely see this being a Fire Claws weapon, just so that you can have all these amazing procs. Maybe if you were just a Fire Druid in general, it might be fun to use this. But keep in mind that as a Fire-only Druid, you're going to be limited in your damage types, and all the Fire-immune monsters are going to be unkillable. So there's that. Really nice Zeal weapon, though. I feel like this would go really well with a proc Zealer. Just like tons of procking effects on a Zealer would definitely make some interesting gameplay. Keep an eye out for that later. I might have to try out a procking Zealer. That'll be fun. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos. And if you're interested in this Runeword, do keep in mind that it's pretty darn expensive. It's very expensive at VexLoBerJahKo. The Co is the cheapest rune in that entire recipe. Anyway, thanks for watching and keep watching.